16 shocking reasons why your dog might be cowardly and what you can do about it. Your dog, brave enough to bark at the neighbor's cat, but terrified of a leaf blowing across the yard. Is your dog convinced the vacuum is secretly plotting against them? Or it acts like every new person is a potential alien invasion? Stick around as we uncover why some dogs are more cautious than a cat at bath time, and how you can help them become the fearless furball they were meant to be. 1. Lack of socialization. When dogs are not exposed to different people, animals, and experiences during their critical early development, it's like they're being deprived of a crash course in confidence. Imagine being thrown into a big, loud party with no idea what's going on. That's what your dog might feel like when they meet new people or hear loud noises for the first time. Early socialization is key. It helps dogs learn how to react to unfamiliar situations, people, and animals. Without it, they may grow up to be cautious or fearful. Think about a puppy who was only raised around their litter mates and never got to interact with other dogs or people. The first time they're taken to a park, they may cower and avoid other dogs because they're unsure about socializing. This could have been avoided with early exposure to different experiences, building confidence along the way. 2. Traumatic experiences. Dogs, much like humans, can carry emotional scars from traumatic experiences. These experiences can create lasting fears and anxieties. Whether it's abuse, neglect, or even simple but frightening occurrences like thunderstorms or fireworks, these events can shape a dog's emotional responses to similar situations in the future. The traumatic memory often triggers an instinctive fear response, making them hypersensitive to similar stressors. Imagine a dog that was once caught in a thunderstorm, terrified by the booming sounds and flashes of lightning. Now, every time a storm rolls in, the same terror resurfaces. They tremble, hide under the bed, or even try to escape. It's not just the storm that frightens them, it's the deep-rooted memories of that terrifying experience that have stayed with them. 3. Genetic traits. While you might be able to tell which dog is more anxious just by looking at them, genetics play a huge role in determining a dog's natural temperament. Just like how some people are naturally shy or outgoing, dogs have genetic predispositions that influence their ability to handle stress. Certain breeds or individual dogs are simply more wired to be cautious or sensitive, making them more prone to fear-based reactions. It's important to understand that these traits aren't a sign of weakness. They're just part of who they are. Take a Chihuahua, for instance. Even if they've never had a scary experience, they may still be more anxious than a Golden Retriever, simply due to their breed's inherent traits. The Chihuahua might bark at the wind, while the Golden Retriever might be more chill with the same scenario. It's not about being a scaredy cat, it's just about their genetic makeup, which makes them more prone to fear. 4. Lack of confidence. A dog's confidence is just like a muscle. It needs to be nurtured and built up over time. If a dog hasn't been exposed to proper training or hasn't developed a strong bond with their owner, they might struggle in new or unfamiliar situations. Dogs lacking confidence often feel insecure and unsure, which can lead to fearful reactions in environments where they don't know what to expect. This insecurity might cause them to shy away from new people, other animals, or unfamiliar places. Picture a dog that's never been taught the basics, like how to sit or stay. When this dog is introduced to a larger, more confident dog at the park, they might freeze up or even back away in fear because they don't know how to behave. Without the tools to handle social interactions, they're left feeling anxious and uncertain. Ever wonder why your pup suddenly freezes in a crowd of people or around a new dog? It might not be the environment. It could be their lack of confidence. Let's dive into how a bit of training can make a world of difference. 5. Poor early life conditions. The first few months of a puppy's life are absolutely critical for their development. If a puppy is deprived of important early interactions with their mother, littermates, or humans, they can develop serious socialization issues. Without exposure to various environments, sounds, and experiences, they may grow up lacking the coping mechanisms needed to deal with stress. This can lead to fearful behaviors in adulthood, as they simply don't know how to respond to the unfamiliar. Imagine a puppy that spent its first few months in a kennel with little to no human interaction. As an adult, this dog may become fearful of new people or situations, struggling to adjust to a normal home environment. Without those early socialization lessons, they're constantly on edge when faced with something unfamiliar. Did your dog have a rocky start in life? Poor early experiences can leave them feeling like a fish out of water. Let's explore how early socialization, or the lack of it, can shape your dog's fears. Sixth, health problems. Fear can sometimes be rooted in physical discomfort. If your dog is experiencing pain or illness, they may become more irritable or scared. Instead of reacting to a situation psychologically, the fear might stem from the physical discomfort that makes them more sensitive or defensive. Health problems such as arthritis, dental issues, or even internal injuries can cause your dog to shy away from certain activities or react fearfully. Imagine a dog that suddenly becomes timid when being touched or when moving around. It could be a sign of arthritis or dental pain, which makes simple movements feel uncomfortable or even painful. They might be defensive because they associate touch with pain or avoid activities they once enjoyed due to physical discomfort. 7. Lack of proper training or guidance. Dogs thrive on structure and consistency. Without proper training or clear guidance, they may become uncertain about what's expected of them. This lack of direction can lead to anxiety and fearful reactions, as dogs struggle to navigate a world that feels unpredictable and overwhelming. Training provides not only commands, but also reassurance, helping dogs feel more secure. A dog that hasn't been taught basic commands like sit or stay may feel nervous when encountering new situations. Without the confidence that comes with knowing how to behave, they might freeze up or act fearfully when they meet new people, encounter strange environments, or face situations they don't know how to handle. Is your dog constantly anxious in new situations? It could be that they're lacking the structure they need to feel confident. Let's explore how proper training can transform your anxious pup into a more secure and self-assured companion. 8. Environmental stressors. Dogs are highly sensitive to their surroundings. A chaotic or noisy environment can heighten their stress and lead to increased anxiety. Whether it's constant construction noise, loud neighbors, or unpredictable household events, a stressful environment can make your dog feel like they're in constant danger, leading them to react fearfully to almost anything new or unfamiliar. Picture a dog living in a noisy apartment with construction sounds, car alarms, and people constantly coming and going. Over time, the dog may develop anxiety, becoming jumpy or fearful whenever there's any new sound or change in the environment. The unpredictability creates an ongoing sense of stress that's hard for them to escape. Does your dog seem on edge with every little noise? A chaotic environment could be to blame. Let's take a closer look at how environmental stressors might be making your dog more fearful and how you can help them find peace. 9. Overprotective owners. As pet parents, we naturally want to protect our dogs from harm. However, being overly protective can prevent dogs from learning how to handle challenges on their own. If a dog is constantly shielded from new experiences or unfamiliar situations, they may become fearful when they eventually face the world on their own. It's essential to strike a balance between protection and giving your dog the chance to build confidence. Imagine a dog that's always carried around by their owner, rarely let outside, and never exposed to different situations. When this dog is finally allowed outside, the world might feel overwhelming. They don't know how to navigate it, and the fear of the unknown makes them freeze up or act anxious. 10. Negative reinforcement. While it's instinctive to comfort a dog when they're scared, doing so in the wrong way can unintentionally reinforce their fear. If a dog is fearful and their owner responds with extra attention or comfort every time, the dog may begin to associate their anxious behavior with receiving attention. Over time, this can make the fear worse, as the dog learns that being scared brings a reward. If your dog is terrified of the vacuum cleaner, and every time it's turned on, you stop what you're doing to comfort them, you might be unintentionally reinforcing their fear. The dog begins to associate the vacuum with getting extra attention, making the anxiety worse with every interaction. 11. Separation anxiety. Separation anxiety can cause your dog to experience intense fear when left alone. This anxiety is not just limited to moments of departure, it can also affect your dog's behavior when they're not in direct contact with their owner. The fear of abandonment can cause anxiety in other situations, making the dog more reactive or fearful overall. A dog with separation anxiety might show extreme signs of distress whenever you leave the room or the house, pacing, barking, or even trying to escape. This intense anxiety over being left alone can seep into other parts of their life, making them more fearful and stressed in general. 12th, lack of proper exercise or stimulation. Dogs need more than just physical exercise. They also need mental stimulation. Without enough of both, they can become bored, anxious, and even more fearful. When a dog doesn't get enough exercise or mental challenges, pent-up energy can turn into nervousness, making them more reactive to everyday situations. Regular walks, playtime, and puzzle games can keep your dog mentally and physically balanced, reducing their fearfulness. A dog that hasn't been exercised properly might react anxiously to new experiences because they have so much unused energy. A lack of physical activity can make a dog extra cautious and nervous in unfamiliar situations, as they don't know how to handle their anxiety. 13th, reinforced fearful behavior. When a dog's fearful behavior is continuously reinforced, either by the owner unintentionally comforting them when they're scared or by avoiding situations that cause fear, the dog learns that their fears are justified. This can make the behavior more ingrained and difficult to overcome. It's important to allow dogs to experience new situations gradually and calmly, so they can learn to cope with fear without reinforcing it. If your dog barks and hides every time a visitor arrives, and you immediately rush to comfort them, you might be reinforcing their fear. This makes the dog believe their fearful behavior is the right response. Instead, it's important to calmly expose them to new situations and teach them how to stay calm, building their confidence over time. 14. Hormonal imbalances or age-related changes. As dogs age, they can experience hormonal changes or cognitive decline that can impact their behavior. Older dogs may become more fearful due to changes in their physical health or a decrease in their ability to cope with stress. These changes can result in increased anxiety or fearful reactions to things they once handled well. An older dog might suddenly become fearful of things they were never scared of before, such as unfamiliar people or noises. This could be linked to aging and changes in their brain or physical health. Cognitive decline in senior dogs, similar to dementia in humans, can also contribute to confusion and increased anxiety. 15. Poor genetics or breeding. In some cases, a dog's temperament can be influenced by genetics or poor breeding practices. Some breeds are more prone to anxiety and fearfulness, and dogs that are poorly bred or raised under stressful conditions may be more susceptible to these behaviors. Understanding your dog's breed and genetic background can help you understand why they may be more prone to fear and anxiety. A dog that's been bred with little regard for temperament or health might have a genetic predisposition toward fearfulness. Breeds like greyhounds or border collies are often sensitive, and without careful breeding, they might become more anxious or fearful in certain situations. 16. Overwhelming situations. Dogs that are exposed to too many stimuli at once, such as a crowded park, a busy street, or overwhelming household noise, can react fearfully due to feeling overwhelmed. Their heightened sense of hearing and smell makes them more sensitive to their surroundings, and when too many things are happening at once, it can cause anxiety. A dog that's been to a calm park suddenly taken to a loud, bustling city street might freeze or become skittish. They're overwhelmed by the sounds, smells, and sights around them, making it harder for them to respond confidently to new experiences. Understanding the root causes of your dog's fear is the first step toward addressing the issue. Whether it's through early socialization, training, managing their environment, or understanding health-related changes, there are many ways to help your dog overcome their fears. Remember, every dog has unique needs, and with patience, you can help them build the confidence they need to face the world with a wagging tail and a brave heart. Keep supporting your dog, and together you'll overcome those fears.